actually made it through the day without really being hungry. I only had one-third burger this morning and 4 eggs, pasture-raised eggs to start the day. And I was not hungry at all today. Even when my boss wanted to take me out for something to eat, I'm like, no, I'm fine. Now I'm back home. I'm going to heat up this ribeye, get ready for a little supper, and hopefully it'll cool down enough for me to get a walk in this evening. It is 95 degrees out here. Beautiful sunset sky. Looks so like 3D. It's just beautiful. I love the beauty of nature. I used to not really appreciate it at all. I started hunting a few years ago, and I started to get a real appreciation for where my food comes from. But all this talk about what's natural has got me thinking about how unnatural the standard American diet is. I released a video yesterday that talked about living with non-carnivores. And the funny thing is they agree with me about the things that they're eating. They just don't stop. They've reduced the amount, which thankfully that's something, but it's kind of baffling to me now that they've seen the transformation I've gone through. And I know a lot of you have the same frustration. And I've kind of become a food inspector of sorts, that I look at the ingredients on things and I try to see, you know, if I can trick my mind away from what the food company is trying to trick me to. Like they show on the front of the box, they got Tony the Tiger talking about how great they are, and pictures of little blisters of wheat covered in sugar, and messages from the American Heart Association. I don't know if they have them on there or not, but I mean, stuff like that is on cereal boxes, and you think this must be fine. But then when you read the ingredients, you can't even pronounce some of the stuff you're putting in you. So you know it's a chemical compound. And then if you read on there that it says genetically modified organisms, and now there's a new thing, bioengineered foods, which is sort of the same thing, but sort of not, but not really clear on why there's a separate designation or what's going on with that. But when I see that on a package of food, it makes me not want to eat it. Yet I've seen people just, who cares? I'm hungry. I've eaten them before. I'm gonna eat some more. No big deal. I don't know. There's something, it seems pathological to me, that we would know that we're putting something in us that's horrible, and we just keep doing it. But at the same time, I feel like I'm the one who looks pathological. But I'm thankful for a community of people out there like you guys, because I've heard your stories too. And you go through a lot of what I go through when you deal with your regular friends and family. People just don't, it's like it doesn't motivate them a lot of times. There's one or two that'll respond to what they see going on, but it usually depends on how, you know, where they are in their life overall. It's strange that it takes that much for us to be able to wake up to what we've put in our bodies and what we've turned our bodies into. And one of my viewers was saying today, you know, my friends are very accepting of what I'm dealing with, which is great, but I need somebody to kick me in the butt once in a while and let me know, to say screw it and get up and do it, and not let everything else be in control of your life. You take control of your life. You get the health that you want to have. Don't let somebody else tell you how to do it or encourage you to do things you know that are not going to lead to the long-term outcome that you want. You know, you got to take small steps every day if you want to get to a long-term goal. You're not going to get there overnight. But gosh darn, this diet sure did it quick for me compared to everything else I tried. You know, you don't have to go as full force as I did, straight lion diet. You might not need the healing that I needed. You might need it and then some, so I don't know. Everybody's got to decide on their own. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm just somebody who's sharing my story so that I can help others find out about something that they probably thought would never work. But there's been so much evidence to the contrary. I just wanted to be able to share a real man's story who found healing. And it looks like I'm gonna get rained on out here too. It's a little cloudy, but it's like barely any. But it's still raining on my head a little bit. When you're doing meat like this, and really honestly, this is one of the reasons why I think vegans see and vegetarians see a lot of progress early on, is they cut out a lot of processed food and a lot of other garbage that's in the foods that they're not eating, that have like high fructose corn syrup and tons of citric acid and stuff like that, because they're eating stuff that's at least natural. Now, if their bodies don't react well to things like lectins, which I need to talk about in a future video, that's something that I've really been diving deep into, that I want to get deeper into before I talk about it. The lectins might be causing some of their gut problems, and also the gut problems lead to some of the mental problems. I can tell you from experience that when your gut ain't right, your head ain't right. And I think that's a bit of part of it. You know, my gut has been healing a lot since I've been doing this diet. I don't want to let anything I say that lets you know that I still have issues to deal with stop you from thinking that I don't feel like a whole different person. I mean, I feel better than I did when I was 17 years old, which is something when you're about to turn 50. I think it's enough that's worth sharing with people. And I appreciate you guys watching. And I hope if you're not eating food that's natural for you, that you'll give something like a lion diet or carnivore diet or even keto diet a look and see if it might be the key that you've needed to fix your health. Hey, I got a ride coming, which is great with the rain out here and the sun going down. Here comes my wife. Hey. I think I'm gonna ride with you.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?